Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. Today, we are going to be talking about best business bank account for small businesses in 2024. So, one of the most understated things that people talk about when you're first starting a business is having a business bank account. And a lot of the banks that they talk about are the larger traditional banks. Now, I just want to make sure that we understand that we don't necessarily need to start out with a large traditional bank, such as Chase, Bank of America, your Citibanks, the ones that you're probably familiar with. And all of the banks on this list are going to be fintech companies. And then I'll go into detail about what that is. But if you are a entrepreneur, if you drive for Uber, Lyft, if you do Turo, if you do hair, if you do lashes, if barbershop, if you do Amazon FBA, if you're a YouTuber, if you monetize your TikTok, your Instagram channel, if you do Etsy, if you do essentially anything on the side, any gig work, any side jobs, any side hustles, you should have a business bank account. And one of the coolest things about these newer fintech companies, they have newer tools that actually are beneficial to new businesses. Like, for example, they'll have invoicing tools, things that you normally wouldn't see on traditional banks. They'll have tools to help you keep your expenses separate. And I'm going to talk about a lot of those tools with these companies because they do benefit. One other thing that you don't consider when you're looking at larger banks like Chase or Wells Fargo, the larger traditional banks, they have minimum fee requirements, deposit requirements. Sometimes you have to put a certain amount of money or have a certain amount of deposits going in. Then there are limits to transactions that you can make. If you do so many transactions in a month, there is a cost for that unless you upgrade to a higher tier bank account. So a lot of the companies, if not, I believe all of them on this list, they don't have fees for minimum requirements for deposits, at least for the basic accounts. They don't have, foreign transaction fees, ACH wire transfer, incoming, outgoing fees, things like that. So in conjunction with larger financial institutions, because I don't want to lead you to believe you shouldn't have them, you do need to have them when you're trying to get products and services with them. But in the beginning, when you're just getting started, a lot of these companies are really good. I've used all of them at one point or another to get myself started. So I just want to make mention of that. And we also want to keep things low cost when we're starting a business. So a lot of those things, the fees you didn't consider and the additional tools, that's what we're going to be going over today. So without further ado, let's get into it. First thing I want to go over is fintech companies. A fintech bank is a banking institution that uses financial technology to improve its efficiency. So customer service experience, that's what you're going to get with a fintech company. And they partner with banks. So with fintech companies, they're not going to be your physical brick and mortar locations like traditional banks. They're actually not banks technically. They're really just financial tools that you can use that partner with larger banks. They are FDIC insured, so your money is protected. And they use standard protocols. What I mean by standard protocols is ACH transactions, debit cards, they have checks, etc. All the same things that larger financial institutions can use and interact with. And then for all intents and purposes, they work just as well as traditional banks. What you'll probably notice that you may have a limitation with is deposits, right? Because you can only go to ATMs to make deposits. And then that's ATMs that they do partner with. A lot of them have many ATMs in their network, in their channel that they can use. And a lot of the money that you're going to deposit will be transfers online. So that's why I like these fintech banks. But again, you can use them to begin with, especially if you do digital, you do any type of digital marketing or where you're getting money online. These are great for that because the majority of your deposits are going to be online. And most of us do transfers to other institutions to move money around more than we're doing deposits. But if you had a job where you're working with a lot of cash, then you'll probably find limitations with these fintech companies. But again, they're good to start. I just want you to understand what the potential pros and cons will be when you're first starting with these. A lot of great things, especially low on fees, but you do have to consider the limitations that you will have when you're making deposits or handling cash. But again, they have many different ATMs in their networks, and they reimburse you for a few of them for certain deposits and transactions on ATMs. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your personal and business income separate. Why? If you don't separate your personal and income throughout the year, you can have massive problems sorting your individual taxes at the end of the year. And unexplained income and debt is a surefire way to flag yourself for an audit. But not just when you're doing your taxes, you want to make sure to keep this separate. Again, if you have it all going to one transaction, it's so easy to do your taxes at the end of the year. You also don't want to commingle expenses, so that way you know what's profit and what's not. So you always want to make sure that you're keeping one account for profits and business expenses, and then your other personal account will be your own personal bank. These being commingled can cause a lot of difficulties later. So just bear that in mind, that this is one of the most important reasons why you need to have a business bank account. And again, these are good for just starting off when you don't, maybe have one of those larger institutions, or you want to qualify within like 24 hours and just get a bank account for your business right away. So the first one I want to talk about is Relay Bank. Relay Bank offers business checking, business savings, receipt management. The best thing about Relay is that there is no minimum banking requirement. Like when you look at larger financial institutions, Wells Fargo, for example, there is a minimum requirement you have to make in order to start that account. And there is a requirement you have to maintain, or else they will charge you a fee just for using that account. There is no overdraft fees or bounce check fees. You get unlimited transactions as well. That's really big. On some of those larger institutions, they will charge you if you have a certain amount of transactions. You want to keep that in mind. Another great thing about Relay is you can have up to 20 different individual accounts with their own account numbers. So an example of this is I get deposits from YouTube. I get deposits from Shopify. I get deposits from Amazon, FBA, and other types of digital businesses. So you can have an account set up that's your Shopify account, one that's your Amazon account, one that's your YouTube account, and the money will go in separately. Now, how you divvy that money up and set it aside for taxes is up to your discretion, but at least when you look at your bank statement at the end of the month, when you look at your deposits, all this money came from Shopify. All this money came from Amazon. All this money came from YouTube. All this money came from my cash transactions. However it is that you're making money, you can now separate it, and it makes it so much easier for your taxes, and you get that with Relay Bank. So you're able to divide your income streams that you're making, and that for me is probably the biggest selling point on this bank, besides all the feeless products that they do offer. Now let's go over to the Relay Bank website so we can get a more in-depth look on some of their products and services. All right, so we are on the Relay website, the official banking platform for profit first. Open your account. It's letting you know there are no account fees, FDIC insured up to $3 million via Thread Bank. So again, Relay is not a traditional bank. It is a fintech company, but it is insured up to $3 million, and that's backed by Thread Bank. Okay. So profit first plus Relay equals total cash flow clarity. So remember, I was saying that when you have some of these fintech companies, they offer tools that you won't see with traditional banks. Not that they don't have them, but they tailor it to smaller companies and startups. So if we take a look at this, you can see just from the layout of this screenshot here, they're showing you your income. They're showing you money management tools. These are things that you usually see on things like QuickBooks, and you're able to get this with Relay Bank. So instantly open up to 20 accounts with no monthly fees or minimums. Name your account income, profit, owners, pay, tax, etc. And you could set up auto transfer rules to put allocations on autopilot. I think that's one of the best things about this bank. Imagine being able to actually not only get money deposited into a separate account for organizing your income, you can then also set up auto transfer rules to where these amounts actually will go later. That is amazing. So again, when I talked about tools, this is exactly what I was talking about. Let's actually scroll down, and I want to look at where they talk about the fees. Okay, so how Relay adds up. Now, again, this is for small businesses. They also show you accountants and bookkeeping, which for Relay, that's still free. They do have Relay Pro, that's $30 per month, but we're just looking at small business right now, and we're looking at just Relay. So we know that there's no account fees, no overdraft fees, no minimum balance. You can issue 50 virtual or physical Visa and debit cards. So if you have employees and you wanted them to be able to use the Relay bank account without having, to give them a debit card that you can't just cancel whenever you would like, you can issue them a virtual card, or you can do a physical card, but virtual makes it a little bit easier. You can do payments via ACH, transfer, check, and wire, deposit, and withdraw cash at all point ATMs. So there is a lot of ATMs that you can actually use where you can withdraw and deposit cash, and you can integrate this with QuickBooks as well. So if we're looking at core banking, monthly fees, 0, minimum balance, 0, overdraft fee, 0, bounce checks, 0, number of checking accounts, 20, number of savings, 2, reoccurring transfers between accounts, we have that as an option, percentage-based auto transfers, nice, your number of physical or virtual cards, 50, spending limits for teams, 24-hour customer support. This is really, 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 really good. This is another thing that you're going to see with traditional banks where you have these large fees. In and outgoing ACH transfers. Relay, 0. ACH delivery times, 1 to 2 days. That's pretty good. You have deposits for mobile checks available, mail check payments. Now, outgoing domestic wire transfers for Relay is $5. Keep that in mind if you're doing outgoing domestic wires. Incoming domestic wires is $0. You do not have to pay for that. Now, if you go to Relay Pro, it's $30 per month. It is 0. But on Relay, the basic plan, the incoming is free for domestic, which is in the US. Outgoing for domestic in the US is $5. Now, outgoing international wire transfers is $10. If you have the Relay Pro, it is 0. So if you're doing more than 3 outgoing international transfers, Relay Pro would basically pay for itself if you were to go with that. Now, if you're getting an incoming transfer with either or, it is $0. And then it does have currency exchange for outgoing international wire transfers. So a lot of the savings that you're going to see with these fintech companies that you get them because they don't have a brick and mortar location. It's a lot of expenses that they don't have to pay for that allows them to offset that to their customer base and provide you with these integrated tools. They're very interactive. They're very easy to use. And the more you look at this, the more you start to understand how these fintech banks can compete with your larger traditional institution. So a lot of these options sometimes seem better than traditional banks, if we're being honest. However, when it comes to getting, funding, credit cards, things like that, you definitely want to make sure you have that relationship with your traditional bank. Other than that, receipt management. If you need to email a receipt, SMS reminders at time of purchase, you can upload your receipt via mobile and desktop. These are all included with the free Relay. So I'm going to leave a link in the description so you guys can go ahead and take a look at this some more. But as you can see, this is one of the best options, and this is why it's the #1 bank that we're looking at here on this list for today. The second bank on our list is Novo Bank. You get free business checking like Relay, no minimum balance. You get budgeting tools, payment tools, invoicing tools. They're all included with Novo. You can deposit cash using Novo Bank. Excuse me, there's a typo here. But you get ATM refunds up to $7 per month. ATM refunds up to $7 per month. Novo budgeting allows you to separate money for up to 10 categories, and you can apply in 10 minutes and be approved very, very quickly. Now, let's go over to the Novo site. So we're on the Novo website. Reimagine your business banking experience. Again, no monthly fees, no minimums, easy integrations with tools you already use. They have built-in invoicing, budgeting, and transaction categories. So you can streamline your business. This will work with Stripe. It'll work with Wise, Square, Shopify, and QuickBooks. Excuse me. If you're doing something online where you take payments, like for me, I take payments through Shopify, but I use Stripe. You can now add that to your Novo account to keep up with all of that, to keep up with all of your transactions. If you haven't done this yet, or you haven't taken payments, you would understand why that's so awesome. It's so awesome. And especially with it being a free tool. Again, a lot of these things, if you wanted to attach them to certain traditional banks, you'd have to pay for it, or you have to use QuickBooks, or, upgrade your account. Easy transfers. So you get free ACH, mail checks, and incoming wires, not outgoing, but incoming. Apply in minutes. There's no hidden fees. It is FDIC insured. This one is insured through Middlesex Federal Savings. All right. Online banking and budgeting at your fingertips. So with monthly fees, it's zero. With the minimum balance requirement, also zero. Overdraft fees are zero. Again, when you're looking at a traditional bank, these are things that we don't actually pay attention to, but it's not usually offered to us for free. Free invoicing and budgeting tools, just like Relay. Integrations with Stripe, Square, PayPal, QuickBooks, Gusto, and other popular apps. That's probably one of the best things that you're going to get with this. Now, ATM fees are reimbursed up to $7 per month. FDIC insured up to $250,000. That is also very good. Now, for this bank, unless you're handling cash, this may not be the one for you. But if you're doing everything online where you're getting deposits, this is pretty good. You don't really have to worry about that fee if everything you're doing is online or people are sending you money. Then you don't have to worry about that. This is the Novo payroll. Free next day debits built in, working capital, so your employees get paid on time, all from the Novo account that you already have. And you can actually join the Novo payroll. I think that is pretty cool. They do have that. Now, there is a charge for that, but it's very inexpensive when you look at other types of tools that you can use to pay your employees. So you guys can also take a look at that. Novo invoices get paid faster. Each Novo account comes with free business invoicing built in. That is also a very, very powerful tool. If you do have clients where you do need to send invoice and you need to keep track of that type of information. And there are integrations that we can look at here, and that's in the Novo dashboard. And those are the ones that we talked about with Square, Stripe, and QuickBooks. So that makes Novo potentially an invaluable resource, especially if you're like me and you are using these types of tools on a daily basis. The next bank on our list is BlueVine. BlueVine allows you to earn interest. That is the one thing that is different about this one from the other fintech banks on our list. Now, you do have to spend $500 per month with your BlueVine Business Debit MasterCard. You can also receive $2,500 per month in customer payments in your BlueVine Business checking, and that will also qualify you to earn interest. Now, BlueVine has no monthly fees or overdraft fees like the prior two. You can move money easily with free ACH transfers. BlueVine also does not have minimum balance requirements. They have same day ACH, wire, and payments do not have fees. So let's take a look at BlueVine right now. We are on the BlueVine website. You can open an account online in minutes and get 2% APY. There's no monthly fees, free standard ACH, and up to $3 million in FDIC protection. So that is always good. They are backed by Coastal Community Bank. Always good to know about the FDIC protections. So you save money with no fees like the other two. You can also earn your interest here, and there's business plans that you can choose from. Now, the standard one is the one that we're looking at today. It is completely free. There are other plans that you could get. Notice the higher the monthly plan, the more interest that you can earn. Now, I will say that with the Premier plan, while it is $95, to be able to earn 4.25% APY is pretty good. That's almost the same as a high yield savings account that you could get with a couple of traditional banks. Another feature that you're going to see on BlueVine that you may not see with the other banks, they have a business credit card. That one will earn unlimited 1.5% cash back. And there's no annual fee on this card. I believe that you need to have I think they actually tell you what you need to have to qualify for it. Let's take a look. So right here, how do you determine who's eligible? We determine who's eligible from a variety of factors, but you'll at least want to meet the minimum qualifications to be considered. Applicants must be 18 years or older. Your business is operating or incorporated in the United States, and a 700 plus personal credit score. In addition, general partnerships and sole proprietors are ineligible for a BlueVine business credit card. So you cannot do a sole prop on this card. You need to be an LLC, or you have to be a domestic corporation. And you need to have a 700 plus personal credit score. I believe that they do pull from Experian. Can I still get a BlueVine line of credit if I open a credit card? If you open a BlueVine credit card, you'll be ineligible for a BlueVine line of credit. If you currently have a BlueVine line of credit, then you're ineligible for the card. So that's good to know. So they do offer business lines of credit. They also do offer business credit cards. That is something to look into as well, that you're going to get with BlueVine, along with the interest that you're able to get. And then again, it's no fees. For the account, you don't have to maintain a particular balance. You can monitor your business spend, and you can save just like the other ones on account management. You also have your virtual credit cards, and you can activate this in a few clicks. They also have business loans on here as well. So that is awesome. If you're interested in maybe seeing not only a great fintech bank that offers the checking account with familiar tools that you'll get with the other two, with Relay and Novo. With this one, you're also going to get the option of getting a business credit card, and you have the option of getting business loans and business checking lines of credit, which again, you did not see that with the other two. And 1.5 cash back is a very, very good reward for using that. And I believe that they pull from Experian for the hard inquiry. Now, the last bank on our list is going to be Lili Bank. So Lili Bank is a free business bank account that gives you similar features to all the previous fintech banks, no minimum balance requirements, and you can connect payments like Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal to move money into your account. So accounting, which is still the same, it's similar to what we already had. Same thing with bill payment, tax preparation tools, move money faster. They also have the standard or express ACH wire transfers, expedited check the deposits, link payment apps, and external bank accounts. You can boost your savings, maximize your earnings with as much as 4.15% for a yield. If we go there and take a look, this is how Lili will compare to traditional banks. No deposit minimum, no overdraft fees, no ACH fees, no ATM fees that are in their network, foreign transaction fees, 0, incoming domestic wire transfers, 0, number of transactions, unlimited. So again, very, very similar to what we were getting with our other fintech banks, but definitely something good to look at, seeing as how they also let you earn 4.15% APY from your savings is also really, really good. But that is on savings account balanced up to and including $100,000. So you do have to meet quite a big standard in order for you to get that. But if you had $100,000, that is actually really, really good to earn that amount back. It's very competitive with, again, a lot of traditional banks. Multiple user access like we had with our previous ones. It's convenient, it's secure, it's a Visa card, so you know it's going to be able to be used wherever Visa is accepted. You can categorize your expenses just like the others. And you just have to, I guess, take a look and see if this may be a better tool for you. If you did have that much money in capital that you were going to use and you wanted to earn interest, that is pretty nice. And again, no hidden fees. So if you do like Lili, I will leave a link in the description. You can check this one out as well. And then you can also check out some of their premium plans that they offer if you wanted to maybe see if there's any additional features that will help you. All right, so that is all of our fintech banks. They have been covered. I hope that a lot of that information is somehow relevant to you and your business needs. And again, if any side hustles, entrepreneur, just being able to alone separate the income, especially when most of these banks are free, I think that they are great, wonderful tools, especially to operate your business, to do your taxes, to handle your expenses, to pay your employees, you know, all with no cost. I mean, that is amazing. Traditional banks, again, I still think that you need those. I would definitely use those, but not as tools to keep track of my business expenses or to handle my day to day. But I would definitely use them to build a relationship so that I can qualify for other products and tools that the traditional banks do offer, because those are going to be the ones that you want to use in order to get funding for what you need to get funded for. Now, another thing I want you to consider is credit unions. Personally, I have Navy Federal Credit Union. I have a business bank account with them. I also have 2 checking accounts with them. I've had a pledge loan with them. I also have 4 credit cards now, I believe, with them. So also consider opening a bank account with your local credit union. The difference between them and banks is that credit unions are not for profit. So financial institutions, most of them, they're for-profit banks. And because they're for-profit, that's why you see a lot of fees and the interest rates are higher. When you have a credit union, they are a not-for-profit financial institution. They are owned by the members that actually use them. So they can provide many of the same products that banks have, but they tend to have lower fees and better interest rates on loans, saving accounts, etc. And they also provide thousands of shared co-op branches and locations around the U.S. So that was one of the things about fintech companies is that, you know, they do have ATMs, but it's not an actual branch that you could walk into and talk to anybody. And there are a lot of products that you don't get, like auto loans and mortgages. You're not going to get that with your fintech bank. Again, they're really more like just integrated tools to handle your business day to day. Traditional banks, they have a lot of lending options and you should use them to leverage capital. Credit unions, to me, are somewhere in between that, not really for the tools, but you can use them to also get lending at better rates. Now, I believe you should have a little bit of both. You should have one credit union. You should have, depending on where you need to get your, finances from, you may want to have three major traditional banks where you're making deposits, small deposits every month. It could be even $25, just a little deposit here and there. And then you should also have, I believe, one of these fintech banks for your day-to-day operations and just keeping track of all of your expenses. They work really, really well for that. But please don't overlook a good credit union. You definitely want to check there first, depending on what you're doing, because if you're not getting, like, let's say a credit card, and maybe you're looking for a particular loan, you could be looking for a business auto loan, and you may see with your local credit union that the APR on that is super low, and your traditional bank, it may be a little bit higher, and that could be the difference between you paying thousands of dollars for that vehicle. So you always want to keep in mind that not one of these tools, I would say, has to be better than the other. You just want to utilize them to your advantage and to your business needs based on what it is that you do. Some of this may work better if you're doing things like Turo. Some of these things may work better if you're a content creator. Some of these things may work better, if you're even a cash only business. It just depends on what your business needs are. So I would not say one is better than the other. You definitely want to make sure that you go through, take a look at this, and look at which one can cover your needs the best. Thank you. I know a long video, but I wanted to go over a lot of the different benefits that you get with these fintech banks. I think that they're very overlooked, and a lot of us we'll talk about the ones that we're familiar with, the ones that our parents had, the ones that we see on commercials like Chase, like Bank of America, like American Express, all of the ones that we normally talk about, but we always tend to overlook some of these startup companies. Now, while I would not, again, I think I would not use these banks as my only means, but for day to day, they have been wonderful when you are making money, when you do need to invoice customers, and when you want to have this integrated at the lowest cost without having to pay for additional tools and additional resources. So if you've learned a lot from this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna leave a link with the description. The link is gonna be it's gonna have all of these banks there that you can take a look at. I also have links at the bottom that will give you free credit builder tools, things of that nature, other Net 30 accounts, things that will be useful tools that you have. It's all in the description. Please check that out. For my next upcoming video, guys, I think I'm going to be, I've been trying to find the time to do other types of videos. Like I really do want to get into, I heard your replies for the stocks and ETFs. I'm going to work on that. I'm not going to say it's going to be coming very soon. I don't want to make that promise, but I will begin to work on that within the next upcoming weeks. That's just something that if I talk about it, I really want to take my time and really get into it because I think it's going to be a phenomenal video. I think it's going to be one of the best things that I ever did. So please be on the lookout for those types of videos. And I would like to make more of that in the future. For the next couple weeks, I might be done with charge-offs. I feel like I've gone through every example of charge-offs. I may be pulling back very hard on credit repair videos. Like I've said before, this is not a credit repair channel. This is a business strategy channel. This is a finance strategy channel. We talk about how to leverage capital. It's really just covering all finances. But one of the baselines of doing a lot of the things that I talk about is having good credit. So I know that that's very important to you guys. If I can think of anything else, I'll continue to make other videos, but I think we've pretty much dug as deep as we can when it comes to talking about charge-offs, when it comes to talking about late payments, when it comes to talking about collection removal, hard inquiry removal. I think we got it covered. As things change, as things need to be updated, I will continue to make content around that. But that's just the forecast for what we're looking at in the next upcoming weeks. And definitely going to start branching out, getting a little bit more complex into a lot of other aspects of finance, passive income, making money online. Maybe a lot of people mentioned homes and mortgages, maybe delving into that a little bit, maybe delving into FHA loans, because I do want to start talking about that for my people who are looking at buying their first home, or maybe even refinancing a home, and maybe they want to look at doing, a conventional loan. So thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you're still here at this time, I really do appreciate you guys. Please leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll be sure to answer it as soon as possible. I love you guys. This is the best community that I think that is on YouTube when it comes to these type of topics. You are the best community. I've never had a bad conversation. I've never had anything where I felt uncomfortable. The one-on-one coachings are great. The people I talk to are amazing people. I'm telling you, super blessed. Like I've never had such a positive group of people around me. You guys are so positive. It is amazing, and I absolutely love it, and I do not take it for granted whatsoever. Thank you. You make it so much easier to make these videos. I just want to let you know that I appreciate everyone that's watching this video right now. I really want to take a moment to say thank you to whoever you are right now watching this. Some of the people in the comments, I know you guys. You know, I talk to you guys. I know you guys now. It's awesome to meet you. It's awesome to have ever had a conversation with a lot of you people. So thank you so much. Love you guys. Love this community. Super blessed. I appreciate everything. You have a wonderful day.